I miss my father and have sinned against him. I love him, but wonder if he would accept me.
Hey there. I've got a story for you today that I think you'll find both touching and powerful. So it's called The White Cloth of Forgiveness. So grab a comfy seat and let's dive in. Picture this. A businessman travelling on a train late one evening finds himself seated next to a young man, no older than 17. The boy seems restless, nervous even, as he keeps staring out the window into the pitch-black night. His eyes dart around, searching for something or someone outside. But in that deep darkness, there's little to see. For most of the night, the journey is silent, until finally the boy breaks the silence. "Do you have the time? Are we close to Smithville Station?" he asks. The businessman checks his watch and replies, "We're getting close. But I don't think this train stops at Smithville. It's just a small village." The boy sighs and explains, "The conductor promised me it would stop if I needed. I used to live there." Curiosity sparks and the businessman nods politely. A moment later, the boy begins to share his story. 4 years ago, the boy starts, "I lived with my family in Smithville, but then I made a terrible mistake and ended up in jail. When I was released, I couldn't bear the shame, so I left home without saying goodbye. For 4 years, I've been wandering from place to place, working odd jobs, never staying anywhere for long." The boy pauses, his voice heavy with emotion. "A few weeks ago, I wrote a letter to my parents. I told them I would be passing through Smithville today on this train. I asked them for a sign, just one sign that they would forgive me and take me back. I told them to tie a white cloth to the tree in front of our house by the train tracks. If I see it, I'll know they still want me. If there's no cloth, I'll understand and keep going. I won't come back." As the train draws closer to Smithville, the boy's anxiety becomes almost unbearable. His hands tremble and his legs feel weak as he tries to stand and look out the window. I can't do it," he stammers, sinking back into his seat. "Will you look for me, please? Tell me if you see the white cloth." The businessman hesitates but agrees. The weight of the moment fills the train car as Smithville approaches. The boy sits frozen, clutching his knees while the businessman leans toward the window. Seconds pass like hours. Then the boy asks, "Do you see it? Is there a cloth on the tree?" The businessman doesn't respond immediately, his face illuminated by the faint glow of the village lights. Then, with wide eyes and a voice full of amazement, he exclaims, "It's not just one cloth. The tree is covered in white. Every branch, every inch is wrapped in white cloths. There's more white sheets hanging on the fence, on the windows, everywhere. It's as if the whole house is calling you home." The boy's eyes fill with tears as the weight of his guilt melts away. His parents hadn't given him one cloth. They had used every piece of white fabric they owned to show their love and forgiveness. They weren't just waiting. They were desperate for him to return. The businessman's voice softens. "Your father didn't just give you a sign. He gave you everything he could to show you how much he loves you." The boy's heart overflows with emotion as the train slows down at Smithville. He steps off, not as the outcast he thought he'd become, but as a son welcomed home with open arms. Friend, this story is a reflection of God's love for us. Just as that boy's father went to extraordinary lengths to show his forgiveness, God has done the same for you and me. But God didn't hang white cloths. He gave his son Jesus Christ, who died on the cross to reconcile us to himself. No matter what mistakes you've made or how far you've strayed, God is waiting with open arms. The question is, will you return to him? Now is the perfect time to be reconciled with your Creator, who loves you unconditionally. As one wise man once said, "Make peace with yourself and heaven and earth will make peace with you." Thanks for watching. Until next time.